What's the last 24 hours been like for you?
Pretty crazy, yeah. Unexpected for sure. We were in Sugar Land getting ready for a game. They told me on the field right before practice, so it was a cool moment with all the guys. It was really cool. Drove through probably the worst weather of my life on the way here. The wheels were spinning for sure, but made it and happy to be here.
What was the reaction like from the guys?
Tears, yeah. Seeing some of my buddies cry was kind of crazy. I had plenty rolling too, but it was they knew before I did, so that it was surreal. It was great.
How'd they know before you did? Was it like a surprise setup?
Yeah, I think I was out like 30 minutes early, just throwing the football, messing around, just killing time, and they were all in the locker room. So they were trying to keep me occupied so they could, kind of set it up. And yeah, they said they knew like 30 minutes and they were trying to keep their cool. I knew something was off, but I didn't know that was why they were being weird. I thought they were just being weird, so it was crazy.
But Blaine, you are a real case in perseverance, right? And I mean, your numbers have been solid all throughout the minor leagues. And maybe if you were a first-round pick, your route to the big leagues would have been a lot faster. So when you do get to work, I don't know how they told you this, if you can tell us a little bit about that, and then like, what is the first thought that goes through your mind when you realize that like this dream is actually going to come true?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That was my first thought. I think the dream of and the reality of playing at this level, I think, has been gone for 15 years for me. So I don't know my thought process behind it. I think I was just playing just to have fun, and it was cool to say I was a professional baseball player, but there was always glimpses of hope, but I never really thought that I would be right here in this moment. Yesterday was crazy. Had like a stomach ache all night, and stomach ache this morning, but when I came in here, kind of went away. So I'm sure it will come right back right around 7 o'clock. But yeah, just I think it finally settled in when I walked in the locker room.
So there was never that inner confidence that like, yeah, I'm going to be a big leaguer someday. I know I'm going to overcome all of this and be a big leaguer.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I think I always thought it would be a really cool story, and I always thought it would be really cool to say. I don't know if I ever truly believed it. I really don't. I know my family and my wife did for sure. I can't say I necessarily did, but I'm confident in myself. I feel like I can do it. It's just I never really thought it would actually happen. So it was just a weird journey.
So how did they actually tell you?
We were about to take ground balls. I was over at first base just getting ready. They, kind of huddled us up in the infield, and we just signed a new guy in Round Rock, and he was wearing a catcher's mitt, and he was having to play first base now because I was going up. So, Doug was like, "Hey, you're wearing the wrong glove," and then JJ, our infield coach, started playing my walkout song, and that's when I kind of knew. Started crying after that, and then everybody started jumping on me. So it was a cool moment.
What did your walkout song?
It was Top Back by T.I. It just says Crim de la Crim to start. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when he played that, I was like, all right, well, it'd just be really weird if he played this for no reason. So, yeah, once, the emotions all flooded there for probably a solid hour and a half after that on the field with, the coaches that I've gotten so close to. I've played with a lot of those guys since 2021. So it was a really cool moment. And then, the FaceTime to my wife and my family were crazy too.
Are they here?
I think my wife's here. She was delayed in Nashville like 2 hours ago, but she texted me that she was in the air, so she's probably close. My parents were checking into a new Airbnb in Destin yesterday when I called them, so they just turned right back around, and they couldn't really find a flight, so they drove as well.
They drove 14 hours from Destin?
Yeah, they drove last night up. I think they probably rolled in